what I was gonna say was that you said a real key word there. You said passion, and you only gather that knowledge, that foresight when you've been through things.
The direction we were moving was clear now. Without wanting it, without even knowing it, we were becoming a gang.
Going on? What's up, fellas? It's time to go, baby.
Sir,
All
yes,
right.
sir.
Boys Leadership Program. Let's go, man. Sunday, 6:30. So excited for you guys to be here. We got a lot of good stuff in store for you guys today. Our group continues to grow. It continues to grow. And so we're ready to go. Hey, Coach Smith, man, say what's up to the fellas. I know you weren't here last week, but we got former Ohio State defensive back, former NFL defensive back. Also, he was a mechanical engineer, right? A scholarly student, man, like one of the smartest dudes I know, one of the toughest dudes I know. All right. And so thankful to have him on our team, man, working with us. Coach Smith, take it away for a couple seconds and introduce yourself to the fellas.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on, man? Thank you, Coach Hall. I appreciate it, brother. That warm introduction, man. Coach Hall always talks so good about me, man. And that's what it's all about, man. We uplifting each other, uplifting our brothers, the people we love and care about, man. So appreciate that introduction, Coach Hall. I'm so excited, man, to be with you guys. Unfortunately, I missed last week, but I'm here now, right? And you're here, man, and we're going to have some fun today. For those of you who may not know me, man, I grew up in Columbus, all right? Grew up, man, in some rough parts of the city. Didn't have a mother or father growing up, man. I was raised by my grandmother. I'm sure some of you guys can relate as well. But through all those odds, man, was able to fight those adversities and fight those challenges. I was able to get to Ohio State. I was a walk-on at Ohio State, man. So I didn't even have an athletic scholarship. When I went to Ohio State, those coaches were looking at me like, man, who is this guy? Right? I just came in from off the street, man. And I said, I want to play football here at Ohio State. I know I have what it takes. And I worked my way up, climbed that ladder, end up getting a scholarship, and then ended up getting a chance to play, getting a chance to start, getting a chance to have an amazing college career, got a chance to go to the NFL. Myself and Coach Hall, we played together for the Indianapolis Colts, our very first year in the league. I went on and also spent some time with the Cincinnati Bengals, all right, Detroit Lions, and so forth and so on. But from education standpoint, man, I always took my academics very serious, guys, right? And we talk about that all the time. We know it's cliche, but you got to take your academics serious. So I graduated with an engineering degree, right? And most people say, man, what is that, right? And there's so many different types of engineers in different industries and professions that you can go on. But what I like to say is engineers, they truly just know how to solve problems, right? They take a problem and they find a solution. And I've been able to do that in so many different areas of my life. I'm thankful for that education. I'm thankful for applying myself, applying my brain, because it has helped me, whether it's a math problem or something very serious, or it could just be, hey, man, I need some lunch money. How do I go and get it, right? So engineering just teaches you how to solve problems. Myself and Coach Hall, we get an opportunity to solve problems in our community. And this is one of the problems that we're solving, man. We're solving the issue that there are not enough leaders that are leading our young men, right, to positive results, to successful opportunities, man, right? There's so much negativity on TV and the music, the things that we watch and see, but we're trying to solve a problem, leading you guys in the right direction, taking a lot of the things that, you know, maybe we didn't do right in the past, and sharing them with you, right? So you don't make those same mistakes, so that you can put yourself in the best position to be successful in whatever it is that you guys want to do. So I know we rocking, man. I know we're going to have a fun time together over these next several weeks. I'm excited. Coach Hall, I know, has already given you some good stuff on last week, and we're ready to dive in today, man. If you're ready to go, listen, I know you guys are on the Zoom, man. Hopefully you guys can find that chat button. If you are ready to go, right? If you're ready to go, let me get some fires in the chat. Let me get ready to go in the chat. Give me something, man. Let me know that you're ready to go on today, man, in this week. Let's get it, baby.
No, that's good, Coach Smith. Let's go. I see you. Let's go. I see you, TJ, hopping in there. All right. So, hey, fellas, we're gonna keep going. But before we go, I'm gonna get some housekeeping things going for you guys. No, some of you guys will have your playbooks right now. All right. Some of you guys have your playbooks. Some of you guys will be getting them this week, right? So here's the playbook so you guys can see it. All right, there's the playbook. Okay, there's the playbook. So some of you guys will have that. So make sure you guys have this. If you don't have yours yet, all right, a simple sheet of paper will do. But whenever you get on our call, fellas, make sure that you have something to write with and also something to write on a sheet of paper or whatever it may be. Okay, so I have mine right here and I have my workbook. We'll be primarily always working out of this. Sometimes we'll get off of it, but the majority of it will come out of this package. So don't feel bad if you don't have your work packet today. You will have it this week. So you'll make sure that everyone has it for the next session, but the majority of you all probably should have it. The second thing is the question came up like, hey, Coach Hall, you know, how come we can't see the other guys right now? So we've been doing this a while now. And what we found out, fellas, believe it or not, is sometimes when you guys can see each other right away, you guys get distracted by what you guys are doing, right? So what you're wearing, what's going on, making funny faces, right? And over the first 3, 4, 5 weeks, what we want to do is build a solid foundation where you guys can focus. And so before we get into the whole group thing, before you can lead anybody else, fellas, you got to learn how to lead yourself first. And so what we want to make sure that we do is put you in position to be able to lock in, to focus, to stay disciplined, guys, and to be able to focus on building you first. And then we'll introduce you to the rest of the group via visually so you can see them as well. So right now we'll utilize the chat. If we ask some questions, right, we have the opportunity to be able to open up your microphone. All right. But right now we're not going to open up the video to everyone until we solidify our foundation. The other thing that I wanted to do is make sure that I went over just real quickly some of our expectations. The biggest one right now, because we're not doing a lot of video for you guys, all right, is to be on time. We want to make sure you're be on time. And so right now, I think we're really good. We'll always start at 6:30 right on the dot. All right, so make sure you try and log in maybe a couple minutes early. All right, maybe around 6:25, right, just in case things don't go the way that you think it is. And so make sure you get into a quiet place. If it's your bedroom, if it's the basement, all right, if it's a closet, wherever you got to go to get quiet, right, and make sure you can focus in, because this is the 45 minutes for you and for you only. All right, this is not about your brother, your sister, your mom, or your dad. Right, this is about you. Right, making sure you grow in this moment. So we're excited, man. This is why we're here, right? NFL football is on probably in the background somewhere in your house, but NFL football can't help you right now. NFL football won't help you on Monday. But the person that can help you the most is not your teacher, not your parents, not even me and Coach Smith. The person that can help you the most is always going to be you. All right, so we want to make sure you focus on you for this time and this time period. And then last but not least, I want you guys to make sure you stay focused. All right, that's number 5 or 6 on the list. Stay focused and actively participate. And by that, we mean get in the chat. When we ask you to do something in the chat, put it in the chat, okay? And so before I go any further, I want you to put your first name and your last initial in the chat. That's how we take attendance. Put your first name and your last initial in the chat. Not your first and last name, just your first name and your last initial in the chat, right? And we'll go ahead and we'll review those later, but I want to make sure everybody is on that's supposed to be on here today, so we know exactly who's on. First name, last initial in the chat. All right, good. Awesome. All right, fellas, we're going to keep it moving. All right, for everybody that's new, one of the things that we come out off top, this is probably our most important piece of the puzzle. there are a lot of negative things that go on every single day. There are a lot of things that may have made you mad today or yesterday or the day before. Maybe you lost a football game you were playing in. Maybe your favorite team lost, right? The NBA conference finals are going on right now. Maybe you're a Heat fan or a Boston Celtics fan, and those guys are winning and losing back and forth. I don't really know, right? Maybe you argue with your younger sibling. I don't know. Maybe you're just having a bad weekend, right? And negative things do come up. But fellas, I want you to take this time just quickly, and I want you to think about what you are thankful for today. We will always, always, always start out with this. This is actually something that we did at Ohio State every single day. We start the day out in front of the entire football team, and we talk about what we're thankful for. Believe it or not, these guys are winning national championships, and they still do it. Like, hey, I'm thankful for this and that and my parents or whatever it may be. So real quickly, just take a couple seconds and write in the chat what you are thankful for, right? What you're thankful for. Write in the chat what you're thankful for. All right. Mercarius, Mr. Curry said he's education and family, a roof over his head. That's good. I hope you mean that. That's awesome. That's awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Roof over your head. Who else? Put in the chat. What are you thankful for? For your teammates. Okay. My mom and dad, Felton said. Christian Copeland said, teammates, Jaden, my family. That's good, good. Food on the table. That's good, 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 good. What are you thankful for? Tell me what you're thankful for. Having a life. That's excellent. Having a life. I'm thankful for having a life. That's good. I won my football game today. Congratulations, Audie. Okay. All right. That's good work. Good to be thankful for that. Awesome, awesome, awesome. See, one of the reasons, fellas, why we do this, right? For God blessing me every day. Okay. All right. So make sure that you always start your day off with thinking about what you're thankful for. Thinking about what you're thankful for, right? Because everything's not going to go your way. I know you guys know that, but everything's not going to go your way, right? But there are certain things that we could stop for a second and just say, man, I'm thankful and super thankful that this happened to me or this is happening to me right now. Matter of fact, if you guys have your workbook, all right, just turn over to page 15. We'll start on page 15. All right, that'll be the starting page. You guys can review it later. But page 15, for you guys that are following us, and when you get these, page 15, all right, looks just like this, okay? I'm thankful, be thankful, be thankful, okay? Be thankful, be thankful, be thankful. There it is. Be thankful, be thankful. All right, so be on that page 15, page 15. And that's where you could write it in. All right, I know we're going to move a little bit forward, but also on this page, all right, we added a little bit of a twist, all right? We added some seasoning salt to our be thankful for part. So it says, today I am thankful for, and you get a chance to fill in the blank. But it also says, today I will forgive, and you can write a name in there, and then it says for blank. So, for example, you could say, today I forgive my friend Ben for, taking my basketball without asking permission, right? Maybe you were mad at that person. Maybe you're mad at a sibling. Maybe you're mad at one of your parents, right? So today I will forgive, okay? Somebody who let you down, maybe disappointed you, right? And then also, today I will apologize to. Now, you know who you are, right? Who do you need to apologize to? Just saying the words, I'm sorry. Matter of fact, where you are right now, matter of fact, in the chat, just type in the words, I'm sorry, all right? Sometimes we're too scared to just say, I'm sorry. All right, just practice it real quick. I'm sorry, right? You got to be, fellas, this is a superpower. You got to be able to say, hey, I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. And so sometimes when we make a mistake, we're often quick to defend ourselves like, it's not my fault. I ain't do that. It's not my fault. Hey, look, hey, I messed up. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. I'm telling you, it'll go a long way, fellas. It'll go a long way. So that's where we are there. I want you guys to flip over to page 16. And if you're following us,
Coach Hall, let me just jump in real quick, man.
Go ahead.
But I just wanted to say someone is thankful for, grateful for peace. I know some folks in the chat talking about they haven't received their books. Again, if you're just joining us, your book is on the way. If you haven't gotten it already, you should get that here any day now, relatively soon. But while we're talking about the thankful for, grateful for, man, this is, as Coach Hall mentioned, we should do this on a day-to-day, right? This is practicing the level of humility, being humble, right? One of the most humbling things we can do is be thankful for what we have, right? And someone sent me this the other day, man. I want to share with you guys really quickly. It says, what would you do, all right, if you woke up tomorrow and the only thing you had is what you were thankful for yesterday? All right, what you were thankful for yesterday. If you woke up today and the only thing you had is what you were thankful for and what you expressed thanks for yesterday, right? So someone said my life, someone said a roof over my head, clothes on my back, right? My mom and dad, like if only thing you had today was what you said you were thankful for yesterday, right? That's some powerful words right there, man. So just think about that, right? As we go into our day-to-day, man, we should be thankful for something. Every single day, we should be able to pull out something that we're thankful for. All right? Good stuff.
No, that's good. That's a big time point, fellas. Every single day. All right, every single day. Hey, fellas, we're gonna move on real quick. All right. For our newbies here today, all right, first timer, this is our mission for the entire time that we're here. All right, this is our mission. Number one, and simple and only, don't complain, contribute. Don't complain, contribute. All right, it's not complicated, right? Complaining is whining. We even used the word protest last week. We said sometimes someone asks you to do something and you're making a lot of noise. I don't feel like doing it. I'm moaning, I'm complaining. I'm like, I don't feel like cleaning my room up. Right. Last week, somebody said, well, sometimes I don't feel like cleaning my room. And I said, listen, man, when your room smells like bologna sauce and garbage truck juice, you probably need to clean up something. You probably need to clean up your room, man. Like you probably, if somebody says clean up your room and your room smells like garbage truck juice, you probably need to do it. Right. And so we don't want to complain about anything, but we want to contribute. That's how we can start to change things if we contribute. And we use a couple words, just in case you're like, Coach, what does contribute mean? It means to help or support, assist or strengthen. But the most powerful one is to lead. All right. Don't complain, lead. Don't complain, strengthen. Don't complain, assist. Okay. And that's where we want to be. So this is our mission. All right. And so you could find, like, Coach, how do I know if I'm walking to my mission? Are you complaining or are you contributing? Are you complaining or are you helping and supporting? Are you complaining about what your parents or your guardian says to do or your coach says, or are you helping out, right? And so you got to figure out where you fall in. But right now, all right, we don't want to complain. We want to contribute. So that is our mission. That's going to be our mission. So, listen, put in the chat, type don't complain, right? Type don't complain in the chat. Don't complain in the chat, okay? Now, as you guys are doing that, I'm going to have Coach Smith chime in on this. Now, the other thing that we'll do every single week. So there are a couple things that we'll do. Number one, we'll always do thankful for, grateful for. Number two, we'll always go over our mission statement quickly. And then number three, we'll always get our minds going with a Mindcraft, Mindcraft, a Mindcraft. I know you guys play the game Minecraft or have played Minecraft before, but we're talking about a different situation here. And so I want you guys to look at this, right? Take 30 seconds. All right. Take a look at what's going on here. All right. And use your imagination. Kind of see what's going on here. And then I want you to write in the chat what you see, what it means, what you see. Obviously, you got this guy walking up the stairs, and then you got a whole bunch of people crowded. All right. So tell me what this means. All right. All right, Jaden already hopped in. Jaden popped in and said, hey, man, they all lazy. Okay. Tell me in the chat what you see. Tell me what you see. All right, AJ said they're all being too lazy to walk up the stairs, so they're going up the escalator. That's good. Okay, he's thinking smarter, not harder. That's dope. I like that. All right, TJ said they're taking the easy path. That's good. All right. Good. They don't walk up the stairs, so they use the escalator. They don't want to walk up. All right. The people on the right are putting in the work. Ooh, okay. That the guy on the left is. They don't want to put in the work. All right, not putting in the work. He's thinking just
do it, baby. Nike, baby, just do it. Let's just do it.
What you take from this, Coach Smith?
Good stuff. Man, you know what I got is a couple things, guys. So if you heard me in my introduction, I talked a little bit about, you know, me overcoming some of the challenges and adversities that that I was faced with in my life. And at a very early age, man, I learned to do a couple things. All right, at a very early age, I learned to do two main things really that helped elevate me, you know, to where I am. The first thing that I knew I had to do, right? Because I grew up in the hood, so to speak, right? I grew up in Linden. If you guys know where Linden is, Fairgrounds, right? Cleveland Avenue. But at an early age, I realized if I really wanted to be something, man, I had to do the opposite of what everybody else was doing. Right? That's been my mantra my entire life. I have to do the opposite of what everybody else is doing, what the masses are doing, right? And so when you look at this picture and you see all of the people trying to take the escalator, right? Because they're going to be lazy, they don't feel like walking, or maybe it's the quicker way up. The masses are going into the escalator, and guess what? It's crowded. It's taking you longer to be in line to get on the escalator than it would just to go up the stairs. And so for me, I learned that I had to do the opposite of what most people were doing, what the masses were doing, right? And then the second thing I learned is I had to do what most people weren't willing to do, right? So I had to do the opposite of what people were doing. And then I had to do what most people weren't willing to do. So again, in this case, you know, most people, they don't want to take the stairs, right? Man, my legs hurt. Man, that's too many stairs. You had to do the opposite. So myself and Coach Hall, when you waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock in the morning to, you know, go and practice so that we could, you know, get better at our athletics and our football game. What you guys are doing right now, most people, think about it. Most of your friends right now at 6:30, 7 o'clock on a Sunday evening, they're out playing basketball, right? They're out playing a video game. You guys are online listening, right? To two guys who have made it to the NFL trying to give you something that'll better yourself. And you're taking heed to that. Like, you're doing what most people aren't willing to do. So I commend you for that. That's truly what has allowed me to be the person that I am and put me in position to be successful. Do the opposite of what most people are willing to do, right? Or what most people do, and be willing to do what most people aren't willing to do. Those two things, man, have truly changed my life, man, for sure.
No, so fellas, now you can see the importance of it. So in the chat, we said, don't think, just do. All right. My dude said he got a football game in a couple hours. Be a leader, not a follower. Be a leader, not a follower. That's excellent as well. And one of the reasons why all this is important is obviously because we want to make sure we're not following the crowd. One of the hardest things to do is to go off on your own, right? You don't want to lose your friends, right? You know what? Like, I got to make this person happy, right? I got to figure out a way to keep everybody liking me, right? If you want to be a leader, all right, you got to understand that you won't always be liked. You won't always be liked. If you're going to be a great leader, you won't be liked a lot, right? Because everybody won't agree with your way of thinking. Everyone won't agree with doing things the harder way. Everyone won't agree with going your own way and making your own path, okay? So being a great leader doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be liked, all right? And so stop worrying about so much what people will think about you if you do the right thing. All right, most of us understand what the right thing is. We're just afraid to do it. And so we want to make sure we do the right thing. And sometimes you got to walk up them stairs. Like Coach Smith said, sometimes you got to take a different path. And as you can see, my man, when he has on, not only is he walking up the stairs, but he's not empty-handed as well. He's not empty-handed. And so since he's not empty-handed, it means that he's willing to put in the work, right? It means he got to carry some bags. It means it's not going to be easy. You can't just be running up and skipping stairs. You know how you guys get when you guys are running up and down the stairs. You try and skip 2 or 3 stairs. And some of you guys who are unathletic, man, I seen y'all trip and fall a couple of times going up the stairs, man. I know like y'all tripping and falling, right? And so you want to make sure that you guys sometimes understand it's going to be a little bit harder, right? If you want to be great, it's going to be harder. All right. Tone, look in the chat. What we got in the chat? I'm going to pull up this screen real quick. Let me know what we got in the chat, Coach Smith.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think we covered most of it that was in the chat, man. We talked about, don't think, just do. All right. We talked about be a leader, not a follower. One of the things, man, that I want to point out on that leadership piece, right? because we're talking about this leadership. Obviously, we're talking about boys leadership, and Coach Hall mentioned it earlier, but I want to reiterate it, right? It's very important because when we think of leadership, right, we always think of leading something or leading somebody, right? I'm gonna lead my team, I'm a captain, or I'm going to be the line leader, man. You know what I mean? Or I'm gonna lead an organization. He's the boss of a company or whatever you're thinking of a leadership, man. Before we can lead anything or anybody, we first must be able to lead ourselves, right? Before we can lead anything or anybody, we first must have to be able to lead ourselves. Now, here's the cool thing, man. I believe that our bodies have been made up and designed to have everything we absolutely need to be leaders of ourselves, first and foremost, right? Discipline, hard work. Now, do we exercise it all the time? Do we do it the right way all the time? Probably not, right? We're not perfect, but we have everything inside of us to be leaders to ourselves, right? Because some of us, quite frankly, on this call, we're not very vocal. Like, I don't want to be the guy that's, speaking up and like, in front of the class, talking all the time. Like, you don't have to be vocal. You don't have to be that. There's different types of leaders and there's different ways of leading. But before you can do anything and anybody else, lead them, you have to be able to lead yourself. And so, again, looking back at the picture, man, the guy is taking that initiative, as Coach Hall mentioned, to be by himself. Is sometimes it's not easy, but in a leadership role, I'm going to be by myself. I'm going to carry what I need to carry up those steps, and I'm going to get to the top by any means necessary. All right. Somebody else put in the chat, man. He's choosing to take the hard way to get it done the way it needs to be, not the way you want it to be. Ooh, the way it needs to be, not the way you want it to be.
I see you,
right?
Wade.
I like that. They say sometimes they say you got to do what you got to do, right now, so you can get what you want a little bit later. Right.
That's good.
Absolutely.
All right, so fellas, we're going to go ahead and dive into our lesson portion. All right, and as you guys know, Chadwick Boseman, probably about 2 weeks ago now, who was an actor who played Black Panther, he passed away, right? He passed away from a 4-year battle and 4-year fight with colon cancer. And it was a sad day for everybody who's a Marvel superhero lover. Like I am, love all the movies, Avenger movies, all that, right? Some people are not really into it, but I love it. I love the action. I love the storylines. I love the heroes that come to life off of a comic book paper. Just imagine this, like 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, you had one man, Stan Lee, who had this imagination to draw out things. And here we are 60 years later, people bringing them to life and they're making billions of dollars off his films, off of his characters. Right. And so you have an idea, you have a dream, you could write it down. See, they may have been trying to make him be a soccer player or a football player or a basketball player. And he's like, you know what? My gift is to be able to draw. And so he started drawing all these different things and came up with some great comic books. And now they're movies. Right. And so Black Panther ended up passing away. What people didn't know, though, is for 4 years he was in that battle with cancer. And in those 4 years, he made Black Panther. He made the Avengers movie, the second one, Endgame. He was in about 3 or 4 other movies that he made that weren't even Marvel related. And he did it all while under the care and going through chemotherapy and radiation to fight this awful disease. And so it's understandable that people go through hard times. All right. But it doesn't necessarily have to change the way that you produce. So our mission is don't complain, contribute. All right. Keegan reminded me that he was also helping kids with cancer when he had cancer. That's excellent. Again, same thing, fellas. Don't complain, contribute. Don't complain, help. Don't complain, assist. That's the model. That's the mission that we have right now. And so we'll talk about this today. Wakanda Forever. And let's dive into it a little bit. We got about 17 more minutes, fellas. We already at halftime. I told you this goes by quick. It goes by quick. If this has been helpful so far, I want you to type a 5 in the chat, the number 5. Type the number 5 in the chat if it's been helpful for you. Come on now. If it's been helpful for you, right? If it's been helpful for you, that's good. I see you, Audie. All fives. I see you, RJ. Okay, Jaden. Okay, I see you. 5s everywhere. You just like typing 5s, Jaden. Okay, 5s everywhere. Let's go. I see you, Rylan. Okay. All right, here we go. I want you guys to notice something. Watch what we did here. So we've been saying Wakanda Forever. We've been saying Wakanda forever. That's what we do. We cross up Wakanda forever, right? Wakanda forever. But doesn't the word Wakanda kind of sound like somebody saying Wakanda? Like when you see somebody with a nice little shirt or some shoes, you're like, what kind of shoes are those? What kind of shoes are those? All right. You see somebody with some food, you want, hey, what kind of fries? What kind of burger is that? What kind of burger is that? All right. So Wakanda kind of just comes out, it just flies out. Like, hey, what kind of shoes you hooping in? All right. What kind of car your mom drive? What kind of house you live in? All right. Wakanda. Right. And so Coach Smith and I was thinking, and we came up with, it's actually a question, like what kind of? I know you guys can see the transition from Wakanda forever to what kind of. And so we got a couple questions for you that we want to ask you. But number one, what kind of person do you want to be? What kind of person do you want to be? All right. What kind of person do you want to be? If you guys have your workbooks open, it's on page 17, but what kind of person do you want to be? What kind of person do you want to be? Now, do you want to be the kind of person that's trustworthy? Do you want to be the kind of person that's honest? Do you want to be the kind of person that has integrity, which has values? Do you want to be the type of person that's, you say keeping it 100, that's 100, that's real, right? Do you want to be the kind of person, all right, that somebody wants to be a friend to? All right. What kind of person do you want to be? Or do you want to be known as a person that's a liar? Do you want to be known as a person that's lazy? Do you want to be known as a person that's selfish? Do you want to be known as a person that never turns in their work on time? Do you want to be known as a person that underachieves? Right. And so you have to figure out what kind of person do you want to be? What kind of person do you want to be? This is not something that we can do for you. You have to determine who you really want to be, right? Because right now, a lot of us, right? I'm watching this documentary called The Social Dilemma. It's really good, but a lot of us are getting on social media and we're fake on social media, and what we put out there in our pictures is not who we really are. It's not who we really are. How we act around our friends just to seem cool is not who we really are. It's not who we really are. So what kind of person do you want to be is the first question we want to ask you. Coach Smith, here's number 2. All right. Take that away for us, Coach Smith, because right now you're a parent. All right. And you got raised by your grandmother, and you mentioned that, but you still had to be a son. So just talk to us about the importance of that.
Yeah. So you can probably see it right there, man, on your screen is what kind of son do you want to be? What kind of son do you want to be? Right. Do you want to be, that son that's always complaining? Do you want to be that son that's always getting in trouble? Do you want to be that son that's always, in the principal's office? You always got to call your parents, right? Or do you want to be, the son that is respectful, right? Someone put in the chat, I think it was AJ, he said, I want to be the type of person that's going to help the old lady cross the street. You know what I mean? Like I was raised by my grandmother. I love the elderly, right? I want to be respectful. I'm always saying yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, right? And respecting my elders by any means necessary. Do you want to be that type of son, right? Do you want to be the son that you're not only a son to your actual parents, but other people are proud to call you their son, right? Have you ever been with maybe your friend's mom and your friend's parents, and they may just introduce you like, oh, this is my son, and this is my second son. This is my other son, right? Like they're proud to call you their son as well because you're a young man of character. You're a young man of integrity, right? Or they like, this is my son and this is his friend. I don't know, this boy, he all over the place. He crazy. Matter of fact, I don't even know why he with us. I don't even know why he with us right now. What type of son do you want to be, man? We got to grow up as young men. And I know, we have a tough job, right? We're men, we're told to be strong. We're told to be courageous. We're told not to cry, right? We got to take care of our little sisters and our siblings. And so from a young age, we got a lot of pressure on our backs. We got to go to school and excel in academics. We got to, we're playing football and different sports, and we got to be good athletically. Like we have a lot of pressure on ourselves, but as Coach mentioned, we're not going to complain. We're not going to be complaining because we have everything inside of us that allows us to be great already, right? So we're not going to complain about some of those, pressures and things because, the good Lord, right, the man above, he's not going to put more on us than we can handle. So we're going to go through it. We're going to handle it like we're supposed to handle it, right? But we're going to be respectful. We're not going to complain. We're not going to make excuses, right? We won't just get it done, right? We're just going to do it. We're just going to do it. So that's the type of son I want to be. That's the type of son that I hope that I have been. And that's the type of son that I want my son to be as well. And I surely want that for you guys as well too.
No, that's good. So the importance, fellas, these are your leadership roles that you have right now. Number one, we said, right, what type of person do you want to be? So you got to lead yourself. And then we said, what type of son do you want to be? So when we talk about leadership, you are already in leadership roles. You're already in leadership roles where you have to be one type of person and you got to be a certain type of son, but you get to choose which one of those you want to be. Now, number three is, what kind of family do you want to have? You're like, Coach Hall, what do you mean, what type of family do you want to have? Right now, whether you're in 6th grade, 8th grade, whatever it may be, all right, you get an opportunity to contribute to your family. And sometimes when we don't do our part, it makes it harder for the people that are watching over us. So as a son, all right, so you're like, hey, I want to be this type of person that's caring, that's understanding, that's responsible. I want to be that type of person. All right, great. I know what type of son I want to be. Now, what type of son is going to dictate how the rest of your family works? Some families, and you know what families those are, every single day, maybe mom or dad or whoever is upset because their son didn't do what they were supposed to do. The trash wasn't taken out, right? The dishes weren't washed or put in the dishwasher. The laundry wasn't folded. Your bedroom wasn't clean, okay? And so you got to figure out, what type of family do you want to have? Do you want to have a family that always argues because you're not doing your part? Right? How selfish is that your mom or your dad or your grandparents or whoever's raising you is having an awful day, right? And now everybody else has to be upset because you didn't do your part, okay? So what type of family do you want to have? Here we go. Now, this is extremely important. Another leadership role for you. What kind of student do you want to be? All right. Now, before you write it in the chat, just hear me out. Before you write in the chat, what type of student do you want to be? Now, a lot of people are going to say, I want to be a student with A's and B's. I want to get really good grades. Like, people will say they want good grades, but you don't even want to read your book. You don't want to read 5 pages a day. You don't want to read 10 pages a day. You don't want to read 15 pages a day, but you just said you wanted to have all A's. You wanted to get good grades. And so when you say you want to be a good student, there is a responsibility of stuff that comes with it, fellas, right? If you open your book bag and it's not heavy, you don't want to be a good student. Your book bag should be falling apart. I'm telling you. All right. You got books, you got supplies, you got stuff you need to do. If you got a book bag that just match your, listen, if your book bag is only on your back because it match your outfit, you're not going to be a good student. You got on purple Kevin Durant sneakers. You got on yellow and purple LeBron James sneakers. You got on some retro Jordans. You got on some Nike. You got some Air Force Ones. You got some Timberland boots on, and they tan, so you got to have a tan book bag. Matter of fact, you went to Five and Below and asked your parents to buy you 6 book bags for $30 so that you could get a book bag to match every single one of your outfits, but you never put a book in it. Come on, man.
Talk to them, Coach Hall. They ain't ready, man. They ain't ready.
All right, you can't just be matching your red book bag to your red shoes and no books in them. Come on, man. Right? So it's a reason why you're not a good student. Because here, let me give you a tip, fellas. In school, interesting. The teacher tells you exactly what you need to read, exactly what you need to study, exactly how to get there. They tell you what's going to be on the test and the quiz. They tell you when the quiz is coming. They tell you what to study and who to study with. They give you a study packet, and you still fail the quiz. How is that possible, man? How is it even possible? How is it possible that I just gave you all the answers and you still failed it? I mean, I told you what the answers were. I told you what to study. I told you when to study. I told you when the quiz was coming. I gave you a book and a laptop to study from, and you still didn't pass. You still got 50%. You still got 60%. Why? Because we really weren't serious about when we said we wanted to be good students. So you got to determine. It's not because your teacher is mean. It has nothing to do with your teacher being mean. All teachers are mean, right? And the teachers that you have fun with, you still don't have a good grade in. So that's not a good excuse, okay? All right, so you got to figure out what type of student you want to be. Coach Smith, can talk to him real quick about what it means to be a real leader, what type of leader they want to be.
Yeah, man. I mean, we kind of hit on this earlier, and I talked about, the fact that, in order to be a leader of anything, you must lead yourself, man. But I want to bring this to the forefront really quickly, man. As Coach Hall, we were talking about the student, and we talk about learning, and we talk about leadership, especially our leadership roles in school, right, or on our teams or what have you. But I want to put this, guys, in your minds, and I want you to listen to me closely, because there's a stigma out here, right, in this world, that when we're talking about learning, because some of you guys say, hey, I want to be A students, I want to get all A's, right? But then some of you guys are probably thinking like, man, I'm not that great in math, right? I'm not that great in science or whatever, right? I want you guys to hear me really closely. There's a stigma out here that people believe if you don't have it, you'll never have it, right? If you don't have it, you'll never have it. You'll never be able to get here. You'll never be able to learn this. You'll never be able to do that. You grew up this way. You grew up in this part of town. You grew up with only one, parent in the household. So you will only be able to ever achieve this, right? And then there's a different type of belief system that people believe that you truly can believe, or you truly can be whatever you want to be. You have the ability to learn, right? You have the ability to learn to do whatever it is that you want to do. And this happens all the time, but I want to get it in your guys' minds at a young age. If you got to have the belief in yourself, right, that you can truly learn to be anything and everything that you want. Not because you grew up on the side of town, or your house didn't look like this, or it wasn't big enough, or, you didn't have the latest shoes, like, right? You understand there's people that think that way. I grew up in this neighborhood. There's drug dealers all around my neighborhood. So I'm a product of my environment. I can only be what's around me. And then there's the type of person that, man, I believe that I truly believe in myself, that I got the faith and the confidence that I can go and do and be anything that I want to if I apply myself. And so when you talk about the student aspect and we talk about leadership, it comes with this level of confidence, right? You got to have this level of confidence in yourself. And I'm not talking about being boastful. I'm not talking about, being arrogant. I'm not talking about that type of confidence. I'm talking about the confidence in yourself to believe, going back to that picture, man, I can take these stairs by myself. Even though I'm not with my friends, I'm not sitting down in the lunchroom and we cracking jokes and we laughing and having fun and getting in trouble because we're supposed to be quiet, right? I can take this path on my own, right? And I have everything inside of me, man, to be successful. And I have everything inside of me to learn to do what it is that I want to do. So when we talk about students and leadership in the school, in the classroom, in our house, right, in our community, being leaders to our family, because even if you guys are, 11, 12, whatever age you guys are, you have a leadership role even in your family, right? You have a leadership role even in your family.
All right, there you go. That's good. That's good. That's good. And then last but not least, fellas. All right, last but not least. Okay, what kind of results do you want to have? What kind of results do you want to have? All right, I want everybody to write down on your sheet of paper or on your work packet, I can take the harder path. I can take the harder path. All right, I can take the harder path. All right. And then I want you to write in the chat, if it's too easy, I don't want it. If it's too easy, I don't want it. If it's too easy, I don't want it. Write that in the chat. If it's too easy, I do not want it. All right. LeBron James, right? It took him a long time to get to where he is right now. It took him a long time, right? Whoever you look up to, Patrick Mahomes, just signed for $500 million. You know what $500 million could do for your family, right? But he signed for $500 million because he went the harder way. He wasn't the first overall draft pick. All right. So here we go. We got about a couple more minutes here, fellas. All right, I got two categories here. I'm going to go quickly. On the left is some characteristics. On the right is some characteristics. And you got two different things. with very similar DNA, very similar structure. And on the left, all right, this hidden word, it's a disease caused by an uncontrolled division of abnormal cells in part of the body. All right, it's a disease, right? On the left, it says the second leading cause of death in the world. Now, on the right, similar characteristics, it says it's a defense caused by uncontrolled division of abnormal thoughts in the part of the mind, and arguably the number one reason why a person's dream dies. On the left, some of the synonyms or words that mean the exact same thing: corruption, disease, or sickness. On the right, there was an NFL head coach that actually said, this is a disease or a sickness to the team. On the left, it said it can be beaten. Studies have shown, data has shown, people have shown that it can be beaten. And on the right, it can be broken. So on the left, fellas, we got cancer that took out Chadwick Boseman, cancer. On the right, we have what they call excuses. I can't do it because I didn't turn in my homework, because my mom didn't pick me up. My mom didn't do this. My dad didn't do this. I didn't have a pencil. I couldn't, my internet wasn't working. I don't do good in reading. I don't do good in math. Like I'm not a good writer. Like I don't know how to do research. My partner didn't do his part. I don't like my class. I don't like my school. I don't get along with other people. I'm too scared to talk. All these are what they call excuses. Excuses. Okay, excuses. So everybody write in the chat. All right, because it says it's the number one reason why your dreams die, why your goals die. All right, put no more excuses in the chat. No more excuses in the chat. That's all I want. Nothing else. No more excuses in the chat. If you feel there's no more excuses, no more excuses in the chat. This is excellent. No more excuses. When someone asks you, fellas, to clean your room, no excuses. All right. When someone asks you to be a better family member or be a better son, no more excuses. When it's time to go to practice and you don't feel like it, no more excuses, because you guys said you wanted to be great. Okay. So tomorrow, most of you guys have school tomorrow. Okay. But tomorrow, whether it's being a student or being a son, you got to lock in and stay focused. Just pay attention tomorrow when you're on your calls and you learning virtually, whatever you got going on. Just when people not paying attention, people clowning, people playing around. All right. You do not want to be that person getting on that escalator tomorrow. You don't want to be that person. Okay. You want to make sure you lead yourself first. Right. And then you want to make sure you don't have excuses. Okay. You don't want to have excuses. Just real quickly. All right. In the chat, if you guys got any questions, all right. If you have any questions, we got a couple minutes for questions before we get off here, fellas. I'm going to let you get back to football or whatever it is that you were doing. All right. If this is helping you, all right, type a 10 in the chat. Type the number 10 in the chat if this is helpful. Okay. Now, if you have a question, write your question in the chat. We're going to get as many as we can, right? We're going to get like 2 or 3. If we got them, we're going to get 2 or 3 questions in. All right, rapid fire. All right, we got about 3 minutes before we got to get off here, fellas. All right, so I want to make sure I'm conscious of your time. Any questions, put them in the chat. All right. How can I fix my mind not to always tear myself down? All right. You want to take that one, Coach Smith? What can I do and say to myself to not tear myself down?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And hopefully we'll get to this. But since you asked the question, one of the things that we do, that we practice, is we come up with these I am statements, right? And so when we talk about leadership and we talk about being a leader and having confidence in ourselves, one of the things that we, ask our young men to do, and quite frankly, we use this technique with a lot of our teaching programs, is we come up with these I am statements, right? And we ask you come up with these statements, and you should recite these statements every single day, right? So whoever asked that question, Leighton. Okay. So, and anybody else that wants to know, how can I put my mind in a place where I'm confident about myself? I'm not tearing myself down. What I want you to do is, somewhere on your paper, if you got your workbook, cool. If you got a piece of paper, cool. I want you to write down, I am, and then I want you to fill in a blank. Whatever that blank is to you that describes you. I am, and whatever positive adjective that describes you, I want you to fill in a blank. And I want you to write that about 5 times. Have I am blank, I am blank, I am blank. and do at least 5. You probably can come up with 10, but I want you to put in there, words that compliment you, that are positive to you. So I am loyal. I am funny. I am caring. I am loving. I am humble, right? I am honest. Whatever those adjectives that describe you, I want you to put those in there. If you can come up with 5 of them, okay? And every single morning, you brushing your teeth, combing your hair, you getting ready for school, you looking fresh, recite those statements, those I am statements. All right. I am loyal in the mirror. I am humble. I am caring. I am loving. I am kind. I am respectful. I am. And you start to say that with confidence. And I guarantee you, if you start your day like that, and you can even say it throughout the day, right? I am, right? You keep reminding yourself, you tell yourself who you are. You don't let anybody else tell you who you are. Stop letting the world tell you who they are. Stop letting your friends tell you what they think of you. Stop letting, the media tell you. Stop letting people on social media that you don't even know tell you who you are. You get a chance every single day to look yourself in the mirror and you tell yourself who you are, because you know yourself better than anybody else does, right? And it's okay. I am weird. That's fine. I'm weird too. Right? We all have a uniqueness about us, but stop letting some quirky thing or something that we may do that's weird, or we snort, crazy, or we laugh funny, or whatever the case may be. We're letting other people dictate and tell us that that's not good, that that's wrong, that we shouldn't look like this, or we shouldn't act like this. Man, we can tell ourselves who we are, right? Have that confidence in ourselves. Know that we are a leader. Again, we got to lead ourselves first, right? And I guarantee you, if you start doing that, now check this out. If you start doing that, guess what happened to maybe some of the kids, some of your siblings in the household? They'll start doing it. Your mom and dad might even start doing it. So you see what we're talking about when you start to dictate, how do you want your family to be? What kind of family do you want to have? Yeah, you can't, you had no jurisdiction of who your mom and dad was, but you can still dictate, what your family, is, and how your family behaves, and what kind of family you have by the way that you act. So you be a leader about yourself, and I guarantee you it'll trickle down, all right, in a positive manner.
That's good. All right, fellas. Appreciate you, Layton, for that. Hey, we got somebody that said I need my workbook. That'll be coming this week, big dog. So those that didn't have their workbooks, you will have there. I know we got some new heads in today. All right, so you'll make sure we have those next week. All right, everybody else that has a workbook, go ahead and review it, look through it. All right, make sure you put your name in it. Make sure you cherish that boy. You used to get fined in the NFL for not having a workbook. Hey, have a good game today. All right, go ball out in the game. Go ball out in the game. You'll get everybody again. You'll get your workout. Last but not least, a workbook. All right, make sure today you got two sets of 15 on your push-ups, 2 sets of 15 on your push-ups, 2 sets of 15 on sit-ups, 2 sets of 15 on push-ups, 2 sets of 15 on sit-ups. All right. And then, like as always, fellas, we will see you guys next week. All right, we're excited again. We're thankful that you guys are here. Have a great week at school. If you need us, again, we're on social media. Find us on Instagram. We're both on Instagram if you want to DM us if you need any help during the week. All right. Everybody have a great week. Go be amazing on purpose. We salute you guys. We'll see you guys next week, same time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Peace out.
Sir.